Hello.
Hi, I think okay. So hi everyone, my name is Bankole Olanrewaju. I'm the regional manager of admission group for the entire Nigeria, and I have with me a guest from University of All, who is the representative of University of All and Aston University. Her name is Baiba Krievane. Let me just leave her to do the whole introduction herself as well. So thank you.
Yes. Hi, my name is Baiba Krievane. So I work with University of Hull London and Aston London to see what we can do. So yeah, nice to be here. Thank you so much for inviting me. Of course. So yeah.
Okay, okay. So, Beba, I have a couple of questions to
Mm,
ask you, and that these are the questions compiled from some of our students in Nigeria, and some are outside Nigeria as well. But they really want to know about University of Oil and University of
mm,
Aston London campus. So, let me start with. I know there are some questions that will be coming up very soon as we
mm,
continue with the whole thing, but with the ones that I have already, because some of them already dropped some questions to me in my DM before the whole thing starts. Probably they will not be able to, but I'm very sure they'll be joining as well. So they ask, um, can you just tell us about University of All and Aston University, like precisely, just a little bit of brief about them.
yes, of course. So I'll start with Hull. So Hull is our first university partner. We're located in 99 Gower Street. It's actually where I currently am in London. So I'm in the campus at the moment. So it's right next to kind of Euston Station. So it's in an area called Bloomsbury, which is like the educational hub of London. It's a very student-centric area. We do 4 courses here. So ranging from business management to AI. Sorry, five as of September because we have a new course that's gone live, which is healthcare leadership. But it's basically 5 courses that are available as direct masters, like in central London, in a nutshell, right? We're very community driven here in the campus, so we want to make sure everyone feels very welcome. So there's a lot of support that's going on, but obviously I can go into more detail in the case if needed.
Mm-hmm,
Then with Aston London, so that's our newest unit. Excuse me, newest university partner. So
mm-hmm,
it's our first intake now. So everything's brand new. Okay. So we have brand new facilities. It's in an amazing location. It's 200 Aldersgate Street in London as well. So it's also quite central. It's in between St. Paul's Cathedral and the Barbican Centre. So like it's quite nice. It's a nice area. There's a lot of like different kind of companies that are around like Amazon, TikTok, where like they have their headquarters there as
mm-hmm,
well. It's very cool. I like the setup personally. I feel like in the Aston campus. So we have this for all of the courses we have 7 courses running, ranging from again business tech, but it's excellent courses like artificial intelligence. There's cybersecurity management, global business. So anything the students would really want to do. And we also do this cool thing called like the interdisciplinary collaborative project, right? So
mm-hmm.
it's basically where students. So we still have 2 days a week, but one of the days is like classes and lectures, but the second day is full like workshops. So students get really kind of engaged and they're able to get like the best out of their education so they can actually work on the practical project as part of the course as well. So it helps with this as well. So yeah, but obviously again, anything more in detail, let me know. I'm more than happy
Oh,
to go
that's
through. Mm.
that's very wonderful. So nice. So, can you just tell us about the university ranking for University of All and University of Aston, London?
Yeah. So Hull's like I believe Hull is about well according to different ranks
Okay.
depends, right?
Yeah.
The one that I always want to say it's the number 44th like in one of the guides, but I'll need to find like the actual one. With Aston it's 21st in the UK according to the Guardian University Guide. So Aston's like obviously higher ranked,
Mm-hmm.
which is very excellent for our students as well. So yeah.
Okay. Oh, that's
Mhm,
wonderful. Sorry. Most of people, when they really want to
mhm,
come over there, they feel like you know, London being the center of
mhm.
the whole thing, so they feel like, how is the job like there? Is it easy to get job compared
So
to other cities?
So I always want to like to say that London is a bit of a hustler city, right? So we want like anyone who lives in London, we need to make sure that we're kind of on it, right? So it's a very
Okay.
very busy city. There's a lot of opportunities. I always recommend like people at least once in their life they need to live in London because I think that it's like genuinely an amazing city to be in. There's a lot of things going, but it's very key for anyone because it's never really easy. I feel like it's like I don't think anywhere is easy. But if you're like obviously in the case if the students want and engage with us in the campuses in both of like both in Hull and also for Aston, we have a very strong careers team in both. Okay, so we're able to
Okay.
help the students as well to kind of get to where they need slash want to be, right? And there's always opportunities to obviously very very excellent students as well, which is always very like great to kind of let know. But and in general, whenever even if they're looking for a job that's outside of their speciality or anything, London is just a like it's just a lot of things happening in London, so there's always opportunities. But obviously, like people just need to go and grab them, right? So you need to be a bit persistent, but everything's possible in London.
Oh, that's wonderful. All right, so thank you for that. I really want you to tell me about do you have a foundation programs like a pre-master or undergraduate, postgraduate options and all?
We only so currently we only do direct masters, so we only have like postgraduate degrees. Would like it depends as well. So if it's based on academics, and obviously if the students have or applicants rather have a very strong work experience, that we can kind of assess them on a case by case basis as well. So there
Hmm.
is a bit of room of flexibility as well. But the courses themselves are just direct masters, so it's pretty straightforward.
All right. So about this, we have the quick response team. Like
Mhm,
it's quite easy to actually like speak with you here, but
mhm,
after this live, it may be a little bit difficult for people to connect with you because they feel like they do not have contact. So in
mhm,
case of applications or in case of there is an issue that comes up, how
mhm.
quick is your response team? How fast are they? Are they able to give people help as fast as they can?
So we're always very keen to provide very quick support. That's what I'll start with.
Okay.
Obviously, depending on the issue in
Okay.
question, it depends on whether we're able to sort this. If it's for example, like I'm always more than like I always encourage anyone like more than welcome to give me a call or drop me an email or anything, and I'm
Hmm.
like I will always look at it like and kind of see what we can do and basically nudge things where we
Hmm.
need to nudge, right? So the door is
Hmm.
always open. Obviously, there's some so officially like according to the turnaround times it's 2 working days, so for any updated offers or anything we need to give a bit of time because obviously admissions also need to process everything and like compliance also need to process everything but in so officially it's 2 days like 2 working days for turnaround times, but obviously
Hmm.
if there's like a urgent situation or anything like that, then we can help push that through like quicker as well.
Oh, that's very good. So I have a couple of questions I have here.
Mhm.
Can I just go on with them? I think
Yeah.
the questions are coming in as I have them. So the first thing is the first question I have here is can I pay my tuition fee in installments?
Yes. So for West Africa as a region, we have like so for Hull, yes. For Aston, no. Is basically the answer. So for Hull, we've placed all students from West Africa on a payment plan. So after the initial 4,350 like precast deposit, which is cast deposit plus the registration fee, the remaining payments are made in 5 separate installments across the year. Okay. For
Okay.
us, then, it's not as flexible, unfortunately. So we like after the precast deposit, which is 5,350, then we need like 50% before enrollment, and then 25% of the total tuition fees are being paid during term one and 25 in term two. So it's not as flexible as Hull. There is a bit of flexibility, but it's not a lot.
Oh, okay, okay. That's very good. So I have another question here which says is it compulsory we apply through iHealth or is it WAEC or NECO or other? Can you please tell us about the other English recommended certificates that you
Mhm.
can accept at University of or and University of Aston?
Yes, of course. So, in case if we have WAEC, it's amazing. Okay, then we get exempt for both Hull and for Aston. Okay, it needs to like some the minimum we require for both is a C. Or in case if you're going by the numerical scale is a 6. For Hull specifically for the AI and data science in the numerical scale, we need a 5. So that's the only one that's slightly higher. But basically, if you've got a WAEC with a C, it's fine. In case if there's students who want to do like an English test or anything, so Hull is more flexible in the terms of like what type of English test that
Mm-hmm.
they like we can accept. So there's both
Mm-hmm.
online tests, there's also center based, so anything is fine. It can be like anything apart from Duolingo. So, but it can be center based online, like this Oxford International, like IELTS, obviously. PT
Mm-hmm.
is absolutely fine, right? But for Aston, we require center based English tests. It can also be quite a lot of different tests, but it's very, very key to note that it needs to be center based. So the only one that we can accept that's online is Aston. Sorry, it's IELTS for Aston. So everything else needs to be center based.
Okay. Oh, very amazing. So I have another question here, please. It says, how many hours can I work during my studies for MSc?
So it's about 2 working days. Like if I'm not wrong, it should be about 16 hours, like as a maximum.
Okay. Okay. Oh,
Mm,
oh, that's very nice. That's
That,
very
that,
nice. So,
that. Yeah.
so after this, there is one here. Sorry, I have to like. There is one very important
Mhm,
one that I saw here that I feel like I should. It's very important actually.
mhm.
Okay. Okay. Is there a deadline to accept the offer or pay the deficit?
So I always recommend the sooner the better, right? So there's deadlines. If we're like if we're looking towards the September intake, I had a call a bit earlier to verify the deadlines, but they're only going to be announced at the end of the week. Okay, so I can't give you specific dates. I'll leave it as a little bit of a mystery. But I always recommend obviously the sooner everyone kind of goes through the process, it's just less stressful. If we leave it
Hmm.
to the last minute, when it's actually near the deadlines, we'll be waiting for classes and like everyone's going to be
Exactly.
chasing everyone and it's just going to be
Exactly.
messy, right? So it's always
Exactly.
good, like it's an excellent practice to basically just make sure like September is already open, you can already apply, you can already like go through the whole process so that everything happens like smoothly and without any stress at the end of the intake when we're all like trying to rush to London.
Well, that's very nice. So I have another question here which says, can I
Mhm.
transfer from another UK universities to Aston or all universities London campus? Is it
So
possible?
uh depends as well. So I would need to know a bit more details. So is the person on a visa currently? Where are they, like, is it an undergraduate course that they're going for that they want to transfer over to a master's? Like, what's the full situation? So it's a very good question, but
Hmm.
obviously it really depends. In a nutshell, usually if so obviously if it's an undergraduate degree and the student is based like currently on a student visa, we can accept for masters in the sense obviously if they meet the requirements, but then it also depends on like the visa expiry date and stuff like that, right? So if it's obviously if the person is already enrolled in a different university in the UK on a student visa, then
Hmm.
like we would there's no transfers like in between like the like different institutions. I'm afraid. So you'd need to either finish the course and then like you could apply kind of thing, right? But yeah.
Okay, that's very nice. And there is this thing that most of the students used to bother us with when
Mm.
we list the courses that are available for University of or Aston University. They feel like, oh no, I think that there are other courses in other schools. So, what should we be expecting from University of or and University of Aston London to do for us in case of maybe addition of more courses or availability of more courses for other students? Should there be one, or should we be expecting one very soon?
So we've with Hull, we've literally just announced a new course for MSc healthcare, like healthcare leadership. So that's the newest
Mhm,
course, newest addition to our course
mhm.
portfolio. Obviously with Aston London, all 7 courses are new, so it's the first intake that we're having. So yeah, so but in general, like we are actively expanding on our course portfolio, right?
Mhm.
So we will be adding courses in the future. Obviously, which ones they are and when they're going to be available currently I don't know, but we are looking into this very very actively because obviously we want to make sure that everything is like everything's kind of covered as well, so students are like have much more choice as well.
Okay, so I have a question here. How long does it take to get cars for both universities?
Mm. So with how so again, a tricky question is it really depends on when, right? But from the moment that we've fulfilled all of the conditions, right? So once we have like we've gone through compliance, we've gone through admissions, like we have everything fulfilled, then it would be so 2 days, like officially again for the draft cast. So we initially start with the draft cast for Hull, and then only then we like once we have a confirmation, then we can issue the cast, right? So from the confirmation of the draft gas, it's about 2 working days as well, right? So obviously, again, if anyone who applies now, for example, they'd be able to get like a very, very quick processing times because we're like finalizing the June intake, and then afterwards, obviously, it's going to be full speed ahead for September, so they can get everything in time.
Okay.
For us, then, because the compliance processes happen everything through Cash Shield, which is like a very friendly like system for anyone who wants to kind of use it. But
Okay.
generally speaking, I would recommend like 5 days, like for the CAS.
Okay. Oh, that's the cool. That's the wonderful. All right. So I have a question here for people. Someone said can for example I joined University of studying business management, and I feel like
Mm.
I really want to switch course to another course. Is it possible for me to do that?
So at what point have you decided to change the course? Is my question then.
Okay.
So is it
Okay.
is it at the point of enrollment? Is it after CAS, before CAS? Basically, like
So which
where?
one is
So
possible?
it's possible. Like obviously before we issue CAS, we can do that, right? Like it would need to be a new application because different courses have different entry criteria, right? So we need to
Hmm.
reassess the whole application, but it will be quite smooth, basically processing afterwards, kind of thing, right? But
Hmm.
then if it's after CAS, then they would either need to withdraw and then reapply for the next intake, but they wouldn't be able to
Hmm.
like kind of arrive, start the course like for 2 weeks and then transfer over to a different course. Like that just wouldn't be possible, I'm afraid.
Okay. Okay, that's wonderful. I hope everyone is getting the answers already. So I have a couple of questions that I don't know. I'm not sure if this live will be able to because we still have other things to do.
Okay,
And
yeah.
verily, um this one says what's the average cost of living in London for a student?
So according to UKVR guidelines, it's 1,804. No, sorry, 1,483. I always mix up
Mhm.
the four and the eight. But yeah, so it's that's per month. Like maintenance funds for like to live in London.
Okay, okay,
Mhm.
okay. So there is one here as well. Sorry, I'm picking the questions too fast because I really want to
It's okay.
almost
It's
like
okay. Go for
answer. Okay,
it.
okay, okay. So this says is there any support for students who arrive late for the intake?
So So in the case, if a student arrives late, but we do have
Mm-hmm,
late arrival deadlines, so if they provided that they arrive before the very last late enrollment deadline, like all of our classes are recorded. Obviously, students are able to have the support, so that they would need to catch up
mm-hmm,
with their classes as well in case if they're late. So they would be able to approach academics as well, like just to check if they have any questions or anything in terms of like the recorded materials, right? Or
mm-hmm,
anything like that. So they would have support. So it's like we're here to support students, right? So we need to make sure that they're able to kind of upkeep with the other bits of the course, because otherwise, if you start the course without, and for example, you're joining like let's say AI and data science with Hull,
mm-hmm,
so straight from the beginning, like you get like all students get placed into this kind of like programming like workshop, right? So it's very very key.
mm-hmm.
Like these first bits are actually very very key. So support is there, of course, and like obviously students would have the materials that are available, but again, no one's gonna sit down and have like another class kind of thing because obviously they would miss that class, so they would need to do it like on their own and then basically kind of engage with us as well.
Okay, that's good. So here as well as there's a question here that says how long
Mhm.
does the visa process usually take once I receive the offer?
So offer as in CAS or offer as in offer?
Offer letter, like offer, like us.
Like CAS. Okay. So
Okay, so
I
we have
think
to do like offer letter and offer cast.
okay, so I mean from offer letter, it depends like so if we're talking about like an offer letter from the like a conditional or an unconditional offer, um until the visa, it depends on many things. Like, for example, how quickly we
Mhm.
receive the compliance documents, like how quickly we actually clear through these, and afterwards, like
Yes.
when the student applies for the visa, right? So there's a lot of things there. But from the moment the student actually applies for the visa, I mean, official guidelines is 2 weeks, for the visa. Sometimes it's quicker, sometimes it takes a bit longer, right? So it really depends on like whereabouts the students are applying, and like from, and kind of like on what their general like kind of profile kind of says to UKVI.
Oh, very good. So, this is one of the questions that really bothers me a lot, and think like if I do not pick this question, it would be like a huge mess to me because
Okay.
most of the students I have around, the first thing they ask is accommodation. They do
Mm.
not have people there. They really want to ask, how are we going to see the on campus? Is there on campus distance for us, accommodation for us, or do I have to like go out there to search it myself or something?
We have a whole team. So no worries.
Okay.
So we do have accommodation available. Obviously it depends on like there's different ranges of like accommodation, right? So there's kind of shared ones, there's private ones. So, and obviously they're also different costs, right? However, we have
Hmm.
like a full team who's able to support any students, and obviously we can like I could like just let me know whenever there's like a student who's interested in this, and I can
Hmm.
get them in touch with the accommodation team. I'll give you the email address as well, so you're able to kind of
Okay.
you can just ask them anything, and
Oh,
like
please,
like
we
students
would
are able to like
appreciate.
contact them, and basically just ask them because it depends on the student's budget, but like they can have a conversation with someone and basically see if we're able to find something that would fit their budget, and in case of not, I think it's still a very very good kind of thing when students like directly speak about like these questions, someone who's like living in London, because they can kind of recommend like as well, like there's obviously regional things that we're able to do. So yeah.
Okay, so I have someone here that says,
Mhm.
is there any agent support available in your country, in our country, Nigeria?
Bankole, you're there, no?
Okay,
So yes.
that's a straight,
No, of course we like we have
a straightforward. That's a straightforward.
no, so we do have I mean we have agent support. We do have I have a colleague who's actually based in Nigeria as well. And obviously we do
Okay.
have agents who are like working in Nigeria, who are so yeah, so we do have like that sort of presence as well.
That's very good. So there's something I really wanted to do for me.
Mm,
A whole lot of people are watching at this point. I really wanted to change the narrative that London, yeah, we all know London is a little bit expensive than other cities, but
of course.
the way Nigerians used to make it look like London is going to like drain them up and all. I don't know. Is it like that? Is it what we see? Is it what they say? Is it correct?
As in, does London like really tire you out kind of thing?
Yeah, like London is
Like,
expensive. The whole thing,
um
like the
so
food, the accommodation, transport,
mm,
and all, like it's quite expensive. I don't. For me,
I
I just
mean,
feel like it should.
so so it's a very good question actually, right? So because
Okay.
London is expensive, this is a fact, right? Like London is expensive. um it's not as bad as I feel like people think it is, right?
Hmm.
But it is expensive. Like regardless, it is expensive. Even in the UK, like it is the most expensive like city in the UK, right? So,
Hmm.
but what is key, and which is not anywhere else in UK, right, is the opportunities that
Hmm.
London actually brings to students, right? And this is what I kind of mentioned, like when I mentioned a bit earlier, like that I always kind of say that London is a bit of like a hustler city kind of thing, right? You need to kind of like be on it.
Hmm.
Opportunities are like are amazing. Okay, so you're able to, there's a lot of like work opportunities, there's a lot of like just social opportunities, a lot of networking opportunities, and students need to take advantage of it for it to be worth it, right? If the student in question, or if the applicant in question is more like maybe like a little bit more introverted, and they just don't want to, they're not interested in like anything outside of studies kind of thing, right?
Hmm.
Then London is not going to be worth it for them realistically, right? If they actually want to do something, and if they want to make these connections, which will be lifelong connections from like a massive global city, right? Then which
Okay.
are going to be very very valuable for anyone, right? Then
Hmm.
London is the place to be. It is there is a price, right? It is expensive,
Okay.
right? But it's
Okay.
definitely worth it. Like if but
Okay.
the students need to go out and actually like like reach for these, right? Because no one's gonna
Hmm.
like kind of hand it to them on the platter, if that makes sense, right? So they need to
Yeah.
actually like look for like networking opportunities, talk to people, like talk to the professionals who are here and stuff like that, and then it's definitely worth it.
That's very good. So I have one of the questions here that pops up on the screen. It says,
Mhm.
"What kind of support services are available for international students?"
Yeah, so I mean, there's quite a lot, right? So we have like we have a careers team, we have student services, we have like anything in terms of like what sort of support you need, we're here to help, right? So it's our duty of care to the students, to everyone who's with us in both of the campuses, to make sure that actually like everyone feels fully comfortable and that they actually feel supported, right? We're like, I'm very proud to say that I feel like from the feedback that
Hmm.
I've gotten so far, like definitely about Hull, we're very supportive, right? So
Okay.
yeah, so support is here. So basically just anything that you get like that you need, let us know and we're more than happy to accommodate.
Oh, very good. So this sorry, the live session is going to end very soon. So
Mhm.
we are going to be joining the Zoom meeting. I think. Are you aware of that?
Mm.
Okay. So there's a question that pops up that says, "Can I bring dependents while studying as Aston University on the campus? Is it possible?"
Unfortunately not. So because
Okay.
we don't have any courses that would be able to support a visa that has like any dependence, like that is able to bring any dependence.
Okay. Okay. Very well. So there's this as well that says,
Mhm.
"Do I need to show the full 28 days of maintenance funds for the visa, at least
Yes,
to grant the visa?"
yes, yes.
Straightforward.
Like yes, yeah. So it needs to be for nine
Okay.
months,
Is
like
is it
nine
is
months
it
worth
is there
of.
a cases whereby okay?
Pardon?
Hmm.
Oh. So
Is
I
there
mean, we
cases?
need
Are
to.
there cases whereby it is more than 28 working days, 28 days, or
No, so 28 days is like the requirement. So we only require 28 days, right? There's some cases where
mhm,
in case if maybe students are like already living in the UK and stuff like that, where we don't need to show proof of funds, but for anyone who's an international student, we need to show proof of funds for like 28 days is a minimum, but 28 days is required, and this is what we ask for everyone.
oh, very good. So there is a question here that pops up as well. That said they need to know what does student study gaps mean. They feel like they've been hearing that word constantly, like study
Mhm.
gap, study gap.
Yep,
So what does it
yep.
mean? Can you just spell them?
So a study gap is basically when a student has or a person has finished their like maybe high school or excuse me, or even undergraduate or anything like that,
Sorry.
like their previous studies, and then they haven't progressed onto further studies straight away. So, excuse me if I have,
No.
sorry, something else stuck in my throat and I'm not too sure what. So it's fine.
Sorry.
It's basically like what? So, for example, if I finish my undergraduate degree in 2020, let's say, then afterwards I go into work, and then I build up my own professional, like like anything, and then
Mm-hmm.
afterwards, like experience, and then maybe 5 years down the line,
Mm-hmm.
but then I realized, okay, I actually need like, for example, if I want to progress further into my career, I need to do a master's, and then I have a study gap of these 5 years, right? So that's basically a study gap. It's between education.
Okay. Okay. So there's a question here that says, does studying at London campus affect internship or work placement opportunities, particularly in industry based in London?
So affect as in, so as in like affect as in like negatively or as in positively. So
Definitely positive.
well,
Definitely.
I would hope positively. Negatively, definitely not. Obviously, in case if like like you just need to make sure that kind of goes like you're able to commit to the studies at like at the same time, right? And obviously the anything that's paid work is according to like the visa guidelines kind of thing, right? But
Hmm.
in terms of like support from campus that we can offer for students, like so we cannot guarantee an internship, right? This is not something we can guarantee, unfortunately. But
Okay.
we do have, again, both of the campuses have very strong careers teams. Okay, so they're able to help like students for anything in terms of like finding like the right opportunities and actually like getting to there, right? So, but we just cannot guarantee like placements or anything like that.
Oh, that's very okay. So straightforward, very. So I have this here that says, are there student societies or clubs that I can join probably when I get there?
So, because both of the campuses are quite new,
Mhm.
they so there is activity with like student like with the student council, for example, like a good example is, for example, hall, right? So because we've been up in operation for just over a year now, so and now we have like these clubs kind of starting and everything, but um for Aston at the moment, we don't have any clubs because we have like it's the first intake that we have,
Hmm.
right? So, but it also gives a really, really great opportunity for any students because if you want to have clubs, then it's more than welcome, right? It's a blank slate, right? So if you want
Hmm.
like any club, I don't know, you
Hmm.
maybe you don't want to be a part of a book club, maybe you want to be a
Hmm.
part of a pool club, let's say, right? So
Hmm.
then you just need
Hmm.
to propose the idea. You can like be in the student council and everything, and it gives you like a really lot of like experience as well, right, as part of your studies.
Hmm.
You'd be supported by the campus and everything, so because obviously it's good to have these sort of activities. You just need to kind of like ask or say that you want this, and then like more than happy to help.
Okay. Okay. So let me make this maybe the penultimate or probably the last one as well. So
Mhm.
it says what are the advantage of studying in University of sorry, I think the whole thing pops away. Okay, there are a whole lot of questions here coming. I saw it now, but it just actually slipped off. Oh, sorry, I can't see it again. I can't see the questions again. All
It's
right,
okay.
all right, all right. So that's fine. So okay. What are the advantages of studying at the London campus,
Mm.
and how does it different from the main campus of University of All?
Mhm.
Mm-hmm,
So it actually, so I feel like, so this is a good question. It's an actually excellent questions. Thank you, Ada. So there's kind of two things that kind of you need to look for, right? So I kind
mm-hmm,
of briefly mentioned this, like like when we were talking about London as a city, as a location of study, and
mm-hmm,
I said it's like quite expensive, but then you kind of need to be in the vibe of like like going out and kind of hustling a little bit, right?
mm-hmm,
Then London is obviously it gives you the opportunities, right? Because like the Hull main campus, it's super super nice, right? Like don't like hats off, like it's an amazing campus, it's very affordable as well, like actually Hull is like the most affordable like place to live in the UK, right?
mm-hmm,
So but again, it's a very small town, right? So it just doesn't give the opportunities that like the same opportunities that London does, like purely obviously purely because of like geographical location and like where it is, right? So if you're kind of looking for studies that's going to be a bit more kind of chilled out, like not study wise, because study wise like it's like we need to be in line, right? So like quality of teaching is going to be the same, but and obviously support and everything, that's all in line, like in both of the campuses, so everything's kind of available in both. But main difference is literally just the location, whether you want to live and study in a quiet city, right? Or whether you want to live in the capital city of England, right?
mm-hmm.
So yeah, so it just depends. But it like the biggest difference is like genuinely the opportunities the students are able to like receive.
Okay. Okay. So I have to end this meeting now because we are still going for Zoom meeting whereby you'll be there as well, and there
Mhm.
are a whole lot of people waiting there in the Zoom meeting. So there'll be
Okay.
one-on-one conversation with you, and you'll be able to like hear them directly, and probably some that are
Yep.
having issues with the application already. So
Okay.
I thank you so much for this wonderful
Thank
should
you.
I say opportunity? Yeah, it's an opportunity for us to have you here, and we're glad to have you definitely. And
Of course.
I hope if we call you next time, we'll be able to like show up us.
Yeah, no, of course. I mean, I'm more than happy to do any of these anytime. So let me know whenever would be good. And then yeah, and to everyone who's joined the live, thank you so much.
Hmm.
Hopefully you found it beneficial, right? So, and
Okay.
let's see you soon in the campus in London.
Yeah, definitely. We have thousands of people that are coming. Definitely, trust us.
Trust.
So I will be ending this now, and I hope to see you in the Zoom meeting very soon immediately after this. Definitely. So thank you so much, Baiba. Thank
All
you.
right. Thank you so much.
All
Thank
right.
you.
All right.
Bye bye.